Are you guys ready or? Sorry, we're running just a little bit late. The work session for organizational meeting always takes a little extra time, and then we're having some internet issues. So I think we've got those resolved now. Is that right, guys? Everybody good? Mostly? Close enough? Okay. You took my hammer, man.
It was right there.
We're going to call to order the Kensington Town Council for July 15th, Town Council meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, Council, you all had we have a moment of silence, excuse me. So is there anyone that we'd like to lift up?
I wanted to share that Jamie Boston, who's many of you know, is the founder of Kensington's Juneteenth celebration, lost his father last week, who was the pastor emeritus of First Baptist Church in Annapolis. So wanted us all to keep the Boston family in our thoughts.
Thank you. Yeah, I know he'd been ill for a while, so thank you. Anyone else?
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say we should lift up the Strachan family.
Yes,
Um,
for Tim.
well, Tim Strachan, a wonderful member of our community, and
Mhm.
very loved by many.
Yeah, resident on Washington Street. Yeah, he will be missed. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to recognize the family who had a serious injury at Connecticut Bel Air Pool on Friday. They're in a tough spot, so I want to be thinking of them today for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Then I'll add Joanna Papafotis' father, who was a longtime resident of Chevy Chase, former mayor there, but he had a heart attack recently. He's doing very well. He's recovering nicely, but just to keep the whole family in our thoughts.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, if we can just bow our heads for a moment. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next item on the agenda is approval of minutes. Council, you did receive the minutes for the town council meeting on June 3rd, as well as the minutes for July 8th. I didn't see any corrections to them. I get a motion to approve the June 3rd meeting minutes.
I move that we approve the June 3rd, 2025 Town Council meeting minutes.
There's a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Work session meeting minutes for the July 8th.
I'll move that we approve the meeting minutes from the work session of July 8th, 2025.
There's a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we do want to acknowledge that the auditing committee appointments of Jeff Capron, Leslie Olson, and Karen Thompson to the audit committee for a 1-year term. And I will need to swear them in. Is that correct, Susan?
Yes,
At some point before the next meeting?
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
I'm around, just let me know when they want to come in. Okay, number 2, the mayor and the council held a work session on July 8th. We did draft the letter to the Montgomery County School Board with regards to the community engagement survey and the Woodward High School boundary study, and that letter was sent out this morning and it is available. Do we have it posted on the website yet under announcements?
Not yet, but it will be sent in the summary tomorrow.
Okay, and there'll be a link to
And it
it.
will be posted under the announcements page.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Let's see, we also want to announce the FY26 council committee assignments. Do you want to go through that, Matt?
Sure. Mayor Pro Tem will be Councilmember Connor Crimmins. The auditing committee will be Councilmember Stuart Sparker and Councilmember Connor Crimmins. Board of Elections will be Councilmember Stuart Sparker. Ethics Commission will be Councilmember Ann Lichter. Greenscape Committee will be Mayor Tracy Furman and Councilmember Ann Lichter. Development Review Board will be Councilmember Connor Crimmins and Councilmember Nate Engel. MTC will be Councilmember Stuart Sparker and resident Alan Simon. Sustainable Kensington will be Councilmember Nate Engel and Councilmember Ann Lichter. The Business Liaison will be Councilmember Ann Lichter and Councilmember Stuart Sparker. The Liaison to the Montgomery County Public Schools will be Councilmember Nate Engel and Councilmember Connor Crimmins. The Parking Task Force will be Councilmember Stuart Sparker and Councilmember Ann Lichter. The Town Code will be the Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor, and myself. Public Works will be the Town Council and staff. And we added an HOC advisory committee to work with the county on that property, and that will include Mayor Furman, Councilmember Connor Crimmins, and Councilmember Nate Engel.
I think that was all right. Anybody? Yeah, thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions regarding the organizational assignments? Not seeing any hands, so we'll continue on. The council will be taking a recess for the August, so there will be no August council meeting. And we will resume our scheduled town council meeting to be held on Wednesday, September 10th. Does anybody know of now that you are not able to attend for travel?
It's good to be, it's right before.
Right
Right
before,
before, yeah.
okay.
Okay, well,
It is my daughter's birthday that day, my oldest daughter. who
So
will
you'll be bringing her with you?
She's gonna love that. She'll be turning 13, so
Oh.
TBD,
Hmm,
TBD.
okay, well, we'll try to keep the meeting short. The good news about birthdays is you can extend them into, you start Sunday and you end on Saturday, so you can have multi type of.
She likes to say birthday week already.
Yeah, that's perfect.
right then.
That is absolutely perfect. I know all about that.
Just keep telling them.
Yep,
Oh.
free, the day of, and then the post.
While we're looking at dates, I can forecast I will be out October 8th. I'll be
Okay.
Traveling, so if just, we don't need to resolve it now, but just Nat and Tracy to have that in mind.
Okay. Would you be available by Zoom? Just, no, okay. That's fine. Alrighty, we'll go down. Matt, you wanna do number 3?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. Council, the town staff received a variance request from 3419 Flyers Mill Road. The request by the applicant is to expand the existing driveway from 16 feet 8 inches to 20 feet in accordance with Chapter 5 Housing and Building Regulations, Section 5-107, Driveways and Parking Services of the Town Code. You received a staff memo with regards to the information. We received 3 public comments from neighbors of 3419 Flyers Mill Road in support of the proposed variance. And staff, public received a proposed sketch of what the applicant is proposing. Staff is in support of the proposed.
I'm sorry, you said you received 1 response?
3. We received 3 public comments, all in favor.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
And the applicants are here, they're on Zoom. So if they would like to state anything, please go ahead.
No, I think you did a great job.
Yes.
Thank you.
Lateral.
So the driveway actually is on Wheatley, is that correct?
Correct.
That's
So
correct.
the house faces Pliers Mill Road. There is street parking that fronts the front of the house. It is a little bit limited from the intersection with Wheatley. We actually looked at running the bump out there a couple years ago, all the way down to Wheatley. We stepped back because of the public parking. They needed it. There's 2 properties there that face it, still needed it. The applicants have a driveway on Wheatley. The egress ingress is pretty close to the intersection. There is an issue right now where they have a 1-car garage. They can kind of maybe fit a 2nd car there, but you can't really open your car doors. There's a retaining wall request in this as well. And upon review from staff, we don't believe that this violates the spirit of the regulations of our code. We do allow up to 20 feet typically with a corresponding garage. However, considering the narrowness of Wheatley Street, the proximity to the intersection with Pliers Mill Road, we're in full support of this one.
Good. Council, you have any questions?
I just have a few. So I think, yeah, Matt, you mentioned this, that it's in violation of the width
Mhm.
aspect of the regulation of the ordinance. But I was reading the ordinance, it says that it's including a limit of 35% or 320 square feet. It can't be above that, a surface area. Does it also violate those?
No.
What is it, 35% of what? The overall
35%
footprint of the
total coverage of the lot size.
lot size?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that'd be the house and accessory structures, parking pads, anything like that.
Okay, I was just trying to get a sense of the size of it because the
Sure,
schematic's a little bit
sure, yeah.
difficult to. So it doesn't violate the others?
No.
Okay, and then the other question I had was, what's the existing width? It said that it's a 3.5.
16 feet,
Okay,
8
so it's like, okay, gotcha.
So our regulation, just for public information, is our regulation is 11 feet, but if you have an existing driveway that's wider than that, you're grandfathered in. The issue here is that they want to expand beyond that. They want to go to 20 feet, which is the maximum allowed in Montgomery County, which is why we end at 20 feet. There's no allowance beyond 20 feet. You can't ask for a variance beyond that.
Is the apron being also widened or just
That
the
was the
driveway?
question.
No, the apron is maintaining a 17, I think it's 18 feet, 8 inches by 17, or I'm sorry, 7 feet by 18 feet and 8 inches. So
And the only other question I had was just the material that will be the driveway. Is it going to be permeable pavement? I remember I thought we set a, I don't know if it's official precedent, a little while ago,
Down the-
an expansion of
Further down the street on Wheaton.
a driveway that if they were going to, we're gonna do a variance and go to this limit, it would need to be permeable.
So that property had already installed a permeable surface. The issue we had with that one was with the apron. We wanted to put a concrete apron in where the permeable pavers were. We don't have necessarily precedent.
Okay,
We kind of touched very briefly in the work session about potentially doing that in the code. But we don't have a precedent set on permeable materials going to 20 feet
I'd
right
like
now.
to see that, not necessarily here, because I don't think it's fair to the resident, but I'm guessing it's not gonna be permeable pavement, is that right? It's concrete?
Concrete, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have concerns about flooding at this spot?
Not specifically, no.
Okay, then I'm supportive of it, but I just want to make sure that in the future, we consider something like
Sure.
this, that it would be justified with permeable pavement.
Do you know which side the retaining wall is going?
It's gonna be
on?
both,
Both
sides.
Okay, that's good.
No, actually, we're only doing the one side.
By the
Just
fence?
yeah,
by the
by the
fence.
fence.
Okay.
Yeah, because it would require you to move your stairs, I guess, if you did the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the council? Any questions from the audience or online? Okay, I don't see any hands, so if we can get a motion to move this to the next step for the council, for the staff to put together a resolution that we would then look at in September to approve.
I'll make a motion. I'll move that staff put a resolution together to consider the variance for 3419 Pliers Mill Road.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
From the council, now's the opportunity for the council to bring up whatever they would like to do to report. So,
I think you should get Stewart's update first.
Stuart, I'm gonna make you go last.
Thank you.
So you can just see how the pros do it and then you'll know how to.
I'll
Yeah.
go first. The phase one of the accessible playground at St. Paul Park. Construction both began and completed since our last meeting. There's still some ramping that is left to be done by the street crew.
A lot of kudos on that, by the way.
So I will say it's been great. We also, recognize we had to kind of wait for the first rainfall, which thanks, we got a substantial one the other day. So we've learned how it's ponding and how it's shedding water. And so the crew is already addressing that. But those are things that until the water fell, weren't quite sure. So You know, residents had already shared some of that. I had looked at it, Matt's already looked at it, so we're addressing how the new water movements are happening, but we've also had a number of emails and pictures and just amazing like feedback on it. The new apparatuses, the extended play area just feels more cohesive. I could go on and on about all of the wonderful things. I will say one of the things I'm most proud of is how hard we worked, with the exception of one small, maybe 3-inch in diameter sapling that was moved. The tree canopy
Oh, it's
remained, and the
great.
shade is terrific.
It's really good.
So, you know, very proud of what the town has accomplished with phase 1.
Yeah, I was over there the other day with Jason. He's got a chameleon that's looking for a home. So you may see a chameleon.
This isn't someone that keeps escaping on the list.
This one can live through
Sometimes they wanna-
through the winters, but there was probably a 12 or 13-year-old swinging in the swing meant
Yeah.
for younger children with disabilities. So I did ask him if he had issues that why he was swinging there, and he left.
So we will work on an official ribbon cutting. There's a plaque to be installed because we were using state money for it. And so as that plaque comes in and as we get closer to, you know, school and people are back, we'll schedule an official ribbon cutting for that, which I know you'll cover July 4th, but I will say it was really neat to have it open for the July 4th bike parade, which is so kid focused, because it got its full test.
Oh
on
my
that
gosh,
day. It
yes.
was packed. It was great. It was wonderful to see.
Actually, the Sparker kids were over there when Jason and I were there, and they were enjoying the new apparatuses too, and they are the right age for that, so that's good. Yes.
My 12-year-old.
No, she was talking to the nanny, so that was good. No, it was great. They were having a great time, and so it's so nice to see the equipment used, and the pictures were wonderful.
The only other one, just as it happens, I literally pulled up to an intersection next to, I believe, Sam from Breads Unlimited. He had a
Oh.
Breads Unlimited truck.
Please tell us.
And I was like, hey, just double checking. And he said, yes, absolutely. They were just waiting on one WSSC permit, no delays, just regular course of action. And have gotten word that they did just get it. So they should be beginning all of their interior construction. He thought it would just be a handful of months and then they would be operational.
So October, November?
Yeah, and I'll double check with him again. And so this is for the public going in the Kensington, in the Johnson Shopping Center where Old Town Market is and where Carmen's Ice Cream is. There'll be a Breads Unlimited and pizzas. There's already one in the Bradley Shopping Center in Chevy Chase area, and they make some very good breakfast wares.
Nice.
So.
Okay,
Mhm.
very exciting.
And then lastly is Kensington Crossing. It's a evolution of where each of the individual tenants are, but most of them are moving along with their permits. Most recently being Marathon Deli, which received the towns. So they are equally finishing out their interior build outs. M&T I know is along there. They've got one more kind of top layer of surfacing to do in the parking lot. But the thought is that some of those businesses should also be open before the end of summer.
And landscaping, I think, is Annie did get them to cut the grass, which was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So.
Good.
Yep.
Before giving my update, I just have a quick question. So kudos also on the playground for a lot of really good feedback, but I did see one resident emailed about the mulch pieces coming off.
Yes.
Get to.
So we sent that over to Play Specs to do an inspection. We're waiting for the inspection because they need to actually do an inspection of the main playground area for us as well, regular inspection for insurance, and Reinhardt Park too. So they'll inspect that. They'll let us know if there's any issues with that mulch. So there's a couple pieces that came up.
Yeah.
And as Councilmember Crimmins noted, there's some grading issues that we got an email about too, that we're gonna have to address specifically on the backside between the fence and the Montessori school. There's was some significant ponding back there. And then obviously the mulch was going down in the St. Paul Street. So we'll address that and figure out what we do on grading.
It follows the walking path.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just enough of a grade that it just
Wow.
creates a little,
Yeah.
it was a significant rain event. So
Yes, it was.
to Matt's point, there is a downspout from the Montessori school that collects theirs and then deposits right under the fence line. And then it normally goes in and disperses, but it hit the new wood
The timbers.
timbers.
Yeah.
And so we just have to,
So it just sat there.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So just 3 quick updates. So, Matt, are you okay if I give the Silver Creek update?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so, thanks to, public input, particularly Joe Campbell, brought to my attention at least, and I think the town's attention, basically the stoppage of flow of Silver Creek as it went under the bridge over the last couple of weeks. So we kept on, documenting it and following up, but something was clearly wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think our assumption was when they cleared out all that debris, it
Something
would
happened.
move.
Yeah,
But yeah,
But I think when they cleared it, I'm not sure if this was the cause of it, but what ultimately happened, what they discovered was, well, thanks, I want to say, first of all, thanks to Council President Stewart's office, and Paul Ellis, for reaching out to the
Yes.
Department of Environmental Protection for the county. They quickly came out, actually, we eventually got to the right person, did their investigation, realized that there was a severed sewer pipe that runs under the creek, I think right around where the bridge is, which was causing sewage to flow into the creek, which was causing this kind of copper color, gross smelling.
yeah,
this pooling,
yeah.
and then the creek water was then flowing into the pipe and not then going down the river, so it was causing 2 problems.
Right,
So then there was a temporary fix where they, I think they were pumping I think you probably all saw the trucks and the.
yeah, it
pipes
was
and stuff.
going into a sewer.
Yeah, so it was actually getting put to the right place and the creek is flowing now. I think has it been permanently fixed?
I'm not sure yet.
Joe will probably tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're still there, but at least it's flowing and it looks correct and everything seems to be fixed. So I just wanted to flag that. So thanks to everybody involved. And also WSSC, I think they were pretty quick to respond after DEP got involved. I just want to report 2 quick things on committees. Mobility and Traffic Committee, Pedestrian and Bicycling Access and Safety Working Group. Probably last time I'll have to do that. Unfortunately.
We're immediately changing the name.
That's codified. Cannot do that. No, I'm just kidding. Priorities that we've spelled out for this year is again Walktober. We're doing a rethink. This is a preview real quick. We're thinking about doing potentially the work stream that's working on this. We met last week and thinking about doing more of a virtual event throughout the entire month so that it's a little less hands-on, because we're going to probably get involved with the house and garden tour, providing safe routes for people to do the walking and so on. So I'm coordinating our working group activities with KHS and Kate DeWitt on that. So that's one. The second is bicycling and pedestrian infrastructure mapping and prioritization. So really looking where we can and should add more sidewalks, more bike racks, and so on. And then continuing to follow up rigorously with SHA on our bicycling and pedestrian priority area plan to get implemented, which spells out all of the priorities for bicycling and pedestrian safety and access for the town. And then last but not least is reviving this Kensington Parkway Bikeway separated side path proposal partnership with other neighboring jurisdictions.
Is there any thoughts to getting our portion done by getting a path in?
I think that's
to
what that's what we were talking about starting with.
Okay.
Getting our
Paper
portion done,
road.
whether it's doing something on the paper road that's to the east side of Silver Creek between, what is that, Kent and
Frederick and Kent.
Frederick and Kent.
Yeah.
And then maybe keeping people off on the access road of Kensington Parkway or bringing them in a bike lane onto. I mean, we've studied that before.
Yeah,
But
Well, I mean, I think we could just kind of move forward with that.
yeah, that was the idea, that we would just get that done first and then start with some progress and get the other jurisdictions involved.
Would you have a separate path for pedestrian, or are you gonna keep pedestrians on the sidewalk and?
I think this
Push
is one of the
bikes
things we
into
would
the-
need to determine.
Matt, do you see any issue with putting a path in there as far as?
I think there's some erosion and runoff
Yeah,
questions that we would have to
I
study.
think the bigger issue is, do we want to maintain parking on that stretch of road? And then do you want to just expand the sidewalk instead?
I think we need to do parking on that side of it.
Yeah, so I think
We
there's,
can't take parking away
yeah,
from the people.
you know, aside from the old trolley line, there's no issues there.
Yeah,
It's when we get into the road, we're gonna run into some issues because we use that parking quite a bit.
Mhm.
The question is, do we want to just expand the sidewalk out a little bit, make it wider? These are things we've never
Yeah,
publicly discussed, so
yeah.
I think maybe we should think about it.
And I think this is what we would probably focus on studying, either ourselves with the expertise that exists on the committee,
yeah,
or we could do a small feasibility study.
Yeah.
I think we had one point allocated $50,000 or something for this
Yeah.
a couple of years ago. I doubt it's in the budget anymore. I know it's not actually.
yeah. I mean, you could, because you could actually run people down the service road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's one of the options.
yeah,
I can revive that study because we did, one of our members at the time did some analysis and different options that we presented to the council. One was using the service road, one was doing share roads and in the Kensington Parkway main thoroughfare, I guess. Doing a separated bike lane with
Pylons.
pylons, so there are different options.
right. Okay.
Are there, with the county's bike master plan, are there anything that requires us to put things in a certain way, in a certain place?
No, not that I'm aware of. So that's all recommendations, and they
Mhm.
tier their recommendations. Obviously tier one being the priorities that they'll
Mhm.
most likely pursue first. There's a code book on design that is, I think, produced by the state. Is it the state or is it the Federal Highway Administration? That do all the design standards for,
So there's the federal MCUTD, but that's for transportation. So if it's bikes, I think it came from the state.
yeah, I think it's state highway that does all of that infrastructure, but they made a revision recently that we were looking at that made it kind of opened the door for doing more things around the tactical urbanism, a little more creative. From an engineering perspective, it doesn't look like it's very permissive, but it actually does loosen it up a little bit, so you can do more, have more choice with the infrastructure being chosen. But so the original point I was about to make is it's tier 3 in the master plan
Okay.
for this stretch. So it's been hard to get the county to
So low on their priority.
but if we have the MCPS
Yeah, that was gonna be,
justification for if we ultimately are put into Silver Creek for middle school, that's a good justification to elevate it.
well, and that was gonna be my next point. I know you're already thinking about it, but if in the boundary study currently be done for Woodward, 3 options currently would reassign the town's residents to Silver Creek Middle School. So if Kensington Parkway were to become the part of the walk shed and part of the safe school route, what is the impact of that? I'll leave it broad, right? Design standards, does that weigh into what needs to get done?
I mean, I don't think technically it does. Like, I don't think there's a process that says it has to,
Mhm.
as far as I'm aware, but I think it gives us more political justification
Mhm.
to pull levers and suggest that this should be prioritized. Because when we met with the county before, they were supportive of it. They said, look, and this was in a budget environment where it wasn't so challenging like it is now. And they said, look, it's going to be hard to make this the case for this. It was a feasibility study that was estimated at almost $1 million because it was going from the MARC station to the Purple Line, and there's a real different topography across the entire stretch, even though it's 3 or 4 miles. But most of it's in the county jurisdiction, so the county we were willing to put up the money. Chevy Chase View, North Chevy Chase was too, but at that time, the county wasn't ready.
Well, and Parks doesn't want, even if you were paying for it, they want additional pathways on their property.
That was
They
the
were
other thing.
really very negative about.
Parks is a challenge. They own a good portion of the right of way. The state has to get involved because of the overpass.
Yeah,
And as Councilmember Engel mentioned, the county was willing to give us a consultant, but there's no funding.
right.
So, can't really go anywhere.
Yeah. So I think if there's a time to push, it's now, especially if this goes forward, and it's good to, there are grants at the state level, but a lot of the challenge from our small towns perspective is that we have to put up we have to put up all of it in the front, and
Mhm.
and then we get reimbursed 80% of it.
Right.
So $1 million for the partners to put together,
Yeah.
only to get,
Yeah.
for like 2 years to not get reimbursed until it's finished.
Yeah.
It's tough.
That's tough, yeah. Matt, did you mind, since this kind of flows into what Nate's been talking about, is the crosswalk that this county, or the town, the county is out to put in?
Montgomery County Department of Transportation reached out to us a couple weeks ago. They asked us to put a crosswalk at the intersection of Kensington Parkway and Littledale, which is our intersection. It's within the corporate limits of the town. So we responded and told them that we would put something together and install a crosswalk. It would be at the southeast corner of the intersection connecting the excuse me. It would be the northeast corner of the intersection connecting the northwest corner
Where
of the
the
intersection.
greenhouse was, right?
Yeah,
Or green,
where the gateway entry is to the town. So it would connect that over to the access point into Kensington Cabin Park. They were looking for a crosswalk and a better entrance into the park. Otherwise, you have to go up the block. There's steps at the mid-block cross you can't get into, and the park's kind of hard to get into on the north end.
so they'll connect it to the
We
break in the curb break?
we will
that-
have to.
We'll
do
have to
that.
take
It's
it
our
to that?
intersection, yeah.
Okay,
So we'll connect it in. We'll have to pull the curb out. It's
okay,
gonna clean up the pedestrian sight lines a little bit, and then we'll just add a crosswalk down there and connect it into the park. So, yeah.
Is there, now if we're thinking about doing our stretch of Kensington Parkway for a separated side path or bike lane, can that be incorporated into the design of that?
I don't know. I mean, we were just gonna pull the curb out a couple feet and run a crosswalk to the bridge. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just thinking about where the path comes as it connects back, even if it's on the access road and it comes back to Kensington Parkway. That's the trickiest part, I
Yeah.
think, because there's a culvert right after that before you get into the place for everyone parks.
yeah,
is that something Joe Kutra could look at?
yeah, he already looked at it for us, so just preliminary.
Well, maybe when he's back, you could, maybe, if somebody's around, they could join him, kind of talk it out.
Just to think through what that
Yeah,
could do, because it could be an opportunity or create more challenge if it's not thought about in advance, yeah.
Okay.
Just, I don't even know if it has any implications, but just to see it and say,
We're not shifting it at all. The only thing it's hard to say without a map. Basically, we pull the curb out and you're literally just running a continental crosswalk across the street. We're not really doing any major structural stuff.
okay,
I mean, I don't know how advanced we want to get in engineering on this ahead of something that we don't know what's
when
gonna
Right,
happen.
right. Yeah.
I mean, this is a really easy job for Jack's team to pull the curb out. So, I don't know, Nate, if you.
And
if
with
you-
the Frederick
Yes.
one be.
So it's the terminus here.
This would be-
Yeah, all we would do is bring that out a couple feet and then bring that out a couple feet and then you got a crosswalk. So,
Right, so you're gonna
yeah, it's basically like
square it up,
it's a bump out.
yeah.
It's a standard bump out for us.
do they have a sidewalk that's?
There's a sidewalk
There's a
here.
sidewalk
and there's a
right there.
sidewalk right here.
I know, but I'm talking about a sidewalk on Littledale.
Mm,
Here,
No.
No, Littledale has a sidewalk on this
This
side,
side.
Mhm.
yeah, not on this side, this is the terminus here. And then
So they
the
want you
sidewalk
to
picks,
cross and then cross again?
Mhm.
they want us to cross here, they want to cross right here.
Yep.
Yeah. So we would square this up. And then cross from the terminus of our sidewalk over to a little bump out here and then connect to this walking path.
Correct. So there's a storm drain area there that we would have to basically put an inlet and a throat in so the water can get down into. So and I know this is hard because people online can't see this.
Right.
But basically, we're basically putting a crosswalk east of the access to the park, pulling the curb out, putting detectable warning mats there, running a crosswalk across the street, and pulling the east side out a couple feet.
would the other
So-
crosswalk stay? Are we moving that? on
I'm
the
not
bridge up
sure.
there?
No, that would
now.
stay.
There's nothing that's going here.
No. Not right now.
Cause that's where most of the town residents will use.
Right, so there was a proposal from
Public Frederick.
Parks within the bridge proposals, but it's not gonna work with what they proposed. So we're just letting it be for now. They're really just trying to get better access into the park because you can't get to the mid-block cross. There's steps that go down. They're looking for greater access into the park.
ADA type access.
Yeah.
Oh, probably for, the residents there, the
At
park,
Kensington.
at Kensington Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this would in time want a crosswalk here if, you know,
Yeah.
Silver Creek becomes a reality, because this
Yeah.
would connect this
And
sidewalk to this.
There's some major drainage issues on the
Mhm.
southeast corner, so.
Mhm.
I mean, we can look at
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's just-
I don't know how far we want to go into this, not knowing what's gonna happen down the road. I mean, like I said, I mean, this is a very easy, small job for concrete
Yeah,
for us.
no, no,
so.
yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
The only other update is we have a Sustainable Kensington meeting on Monday night, 7:30.
You got anything in mind on how to tap the residents on how they're doing with composting? Maybe after a certain period of time?
Food waste program is, yeah, we were going to do some monitoring of the pickups, but we don't know when, we didn't pick a month, maybe January or something.
So Annie's been driving around, and the number we got was about 30. She estimated about 30%.
Of the town.
30%.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah,
putting theirs out on Thursday?
Mhm.
be interesting if it's at all possible for a college to just do
Yeah,
a
what's
tally count.
Yeah, that's
of
what we
how
thought
many
we were
they're
gonna do,
pulling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we should, it's by August, we'll have a tonnage count from them
Mhm.
in August. So we'll kind of get an idea, at least it won't give us the number of bins that they're collecting right there, but they'll give us the amount of food waste they're taking out of the trash. So we should have that in the August bill.
Okay.
Hurry up that in
Nice.
October. With
With the
doing,
food
with the
count.
bin
Yeah.
count.
Oh my God.
And we did have a couple of questions I'm realizing we need to follow up with you on,
Okay.
Matt, just to get direct answers from Devco.
Sure.
Probably Devco more than ecology, I think, for the questions we're getting.
Yeah, if it's anything to do with the facility, yeah.
So that we can send out one update and then we can use that
Okay.
update to sort of prompt people and remind people.
Yeah.
I also think it does, as I think Jody pointed out in questions and comments last meeting, it is perhaps the behavioral change, but also now it's multiple nights a week.
Mhm.
So we'll it would be interesting to sort of decipher how much that is a factor.
Yeah, I missed the first one because I thought about it and then it's Thursday. I don't have to. look at it. Or it's Wednesday night. But I got it the next week.
We put it out on Thursday.
Yeah,
right?
You did?
Yeah, they didn't come on Friday.
yeah,
It's not constant.
yeah.
Okay.
So, well.
So
okay.
we'll have that on the agenda
Yeah.
on Monday to talk
Yeah,
with
if you
committee about.
Maybe
the-
how
the
you're going
ideas.
to,
Yeah.
you know, see how people are doing with it, if they have feedback, things like that. Okay, good. Anything else, Dave?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Ann?
Just a couple of quick things from the Greenscape Committee. We met today with the landscape designer from Stadler to review the first initial proposal for redesigning Ernest Memorial Park. Redesign is perhaps a strong word. Opening it up a bit, making it more accessible for visits, for the Memorial Day activities. And so we gave some feedback. We had a really involved conversation. We'll have a refreshed option coming back to us. And I think we have a lot of excitement about the potential. So I think we could still be on track to have some changes started this fall. We'll be working with Matt and Alex on this. And then the second thing to share is just, we will have a back to school block party again this year. It will be the weekend before school starts. So either on the 23rd or the 24th, we're working on the date now, but just wanted to remind folks of that town tradition. And so we'll get information on that out to the community.
Okay, good. I did talk to Matt about, he's got a vendor for the flagpoles.
Oh, good.
So we just need to figure out,
Height, we need to know the
height,
height that you.
like 20 feet sounded about right, but we need to make sure that that would be a good height.
Yeah.
It'd be a little shorter than the ones up front, but, we can figure that out.
Okay.
Stuart?
At the risk of getting into something that I think maybe somebody else would talk a lot more about, and probably been a little more closely following. I did attend a Chevy Chase Board of Education or Chevy Chase Town Council meeting where Chair of the Board of Education spoke. I think that was June 7th. We may have covered it, but as part of that, coming out of that, town council worked really hard to put together a nice letter. I encourage everybody to take a look at it. A lot of thought went into it, a lot of feedback from the community went into it, so I encourage everybody to take a look. Also of note, they extended the deadline for survey responses for the first round of options to 21 July. So if you have not submitted your feedback, I think the initial due date was today, so if you're not submitted your feedback, you have some additional time, so that's all I have, I think, at this
Okay,
point.
so why did we rush?
As the draft extended it, we got in early.
Enjoy your weekend.
We got it in on time. 10
Do
o'clock
we-
this morning.
I know we submitted it. Do we want to circulate it somehow?
We are,
Yes.
it'll be,
Okay.
it'll be going, that's what I
It
asked
will-
Matt
it will
before to
be
go
in-
out in the
It will be in the
announcements.
summary tomorrow,
There'll be a
Yeah,
the
link,
meeting, and then it'll
yeah,
be on.
and then it'll be
announcements
posted
page.
on the website.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to put it on Melissa.
It's
too.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
People like to
Yep.
see that.
Yeah. And just let them know this is not a draft, this is the, whatever. So, also, so I just have a couple of things, just a reminder, the September journal. The deadline is August 4th. So, the goal will be to have it in people's mailboxes that last week in August. So we could promote the Labor Day parade and, everything. There's a lot going on in September. We have the Labor Day, Paint the Town, 8K race, train show, and the car show. So don't go away in September. Okay, Nate's already going. Lots going on in September. So,
So are you asking for articles, or are you kind of saying this one's full?
no, we still have room for articles. Those will get dates. They're not gonna get big stories.
Do it. The next one, probably, right? For the food waste update.
Yeah, I would do
Yeah.
it for the next one. So,
What is the next journal after September?
we will probably do a September, so probably October. That towards the end of October, so you'll have an October, November, kind of December type of one.
You're saying get in the September journal. No, you're saying that.
The next
Probably the
journal.
next one,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think.
I think that'll give you more time.
But
for
do you
people
want to do
to-
any October stuff in this journal? Because the next one will be too late.
Yeah, because we won't have decided.
No, I mean, the October stuff too, we have also the
Yeah,
option
okay.
with the e-blast. thing.
That's what I usually do in e-blast,
Yeah,
yeah.
the e-blasts work out really well, and you can have an article attached to that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it's better to e-blast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do want to thank Mark Hudson and the Corcoran of Corcoran McInerney Real Estate for sponsoring the 4th of July Bike Parade. He did a great job. It's a good turnout. Also want to thank Val and Martha Deal for the DJing, and Jenny Smith and for letting us use her front yard, and Lindsay Cantor who sang the national anthem. Beautiful job as always. And but we had an excellent turnout, and it was great. Mark did mention wanting to maybe form a flag committee to set up these flags prior to. Mark is
I am Mark's flag committee.
you are Mark's. This is a 2-hour event,
Mhm.
and then probably setting up the flags took at least an hour, and then taking them down probably another hour of time.
Down is a tenth of the time.
The question is, do you do it the day before?
I think a little
or
more
couple
planning,
days
now that I
before?
understand what he and Val were looking at, there's a way to just next year, put some real thought into measuring and just coming up with a document. I would caution putting them up the night before because they may go missing.
Okay,
I honestly just,
no, I
Yeah.
understand.
you could put the stakes in, then you've got the issue, does anybody trip on 'em? I think it's really, the art of putting them in was not difficult. It
Right,
was that we didn't measure twice, cut once. So we put them in and then realized we hadn't spaced them enough. So we put them in 3 times. That's why it took so long. If we just do it with intent, and this doesn't have to be July 4th at 8 a.m. We can go out there at any time between now and July.
Because we're
With
putting
a-
them in people's front yards,
tape
so you
measure.
don't wanna,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then just say, okay, on this side, they go this many feet between them and this many inches from the sidewalk. That's on the west side. On the east side, it's this many feet between them, this many from the
you can
curb.
just get some white paint, spray paint.
Yeah, and then once you write it down, then, and we have it, and you just go out there the next time you put them up, it'll take, honestly, 15-20 minutes.
Okay, because I know that I was given everything back, kind of.
Well, I was not there for the takedown.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was given everything back along with the sound equipment to take into town hall by myself.
Yes.
So it was, which was fine, but
Mhm.
you know, I won't be mayor forever, so somebody's gonna have to be bringing that stuff into the building.
A little more, yeah, I mean, documenting, because also, you know, Mark may not always be the sponsor.
Right.
And I think it would be good for us to have a document that just says, here are the things, right? Would people know that these flags go to it? You know, right down to, you know, all this stuff about sound system. But you're the only person who knows everything about the sound system.
Yeah.
So I think that's a process thing that we could put.
Okay,
together.
well,
So-
I think it does make a difference if you haven't been to the bike parade in a while, having these beautiful flags, and now there's a banner too that he now thinks should be at the park for these photo ops, because he loves the fact that people are doing the photo ops, which is great. But we need to kind of figure this out more in like May and not wait until,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
But I do want to put a hold on buying more. You mentioned that too. And I think we have.
I think we're good for now. If anything, we could do the other stretch of Pliers Mill, like the return loop. So there's kind of a home stretch that the kids come down.
Mhm.
But if we just put a document together, I think Mark and Val and I can figure that out pretty
Okay.
easy.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, because Paul Sexton now has little kids. He just can't dedicate the time that he used to. So.
He was here for 2
He
minutes.
was just here.
You got a test.
Oh,
Oh,
anyway, okay, well, anyway, so it's a great job. We're looking forward to, I suppose the staff is already thinking about Labor Day in the next couple of weeks. They do a great job, so. Last thing I want to do is I do want to introduce the Boy Scout troop, 204, who's here visiting today. Thank you, guys. They're Bethesda. And I assume you're looking to do badges, is that correct? Great.
Do you have to speak in order to get your badge?
Have any
no,
questions?
sorry. What Nate meant to say was you have to speak.
No. If you spoke, you have to come up to the lectern, but I'm not putting that on you guys, but thank you for coming
thank
to
you.
our meeting. Thank you.
If I could ask you a question though, what is the badge that this helps you achieve?
Citizenship in the nation.
Repeat that so people could hear it.
Oh, citizenship in the nation. Yep.
Great. All right. Okay, any questions from the audience or online about anything that was reported by the council? Don't see any hands, so we will move on.
Oh, gotta hang on.
Oh, Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was a little late there. About this crosswalk at Kensington Parkway, the new crosswalk that's envisioned, that is not going to replace, as I heard the town manager say, it will not replace the existing crosswalk that leads to the footbridge at Kensington Cabin Park. Is that correct? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good, thanks.
Okay.
And I really encourage the council on the Kensington Parkway bike lane improvements to really seek out the views of residents along Kensington Parkway, both the access road and the main road. I think this would be very helpful, especially because the council does not have representatives from the south side of town on the council. So I was encourage the
we
council.
do. Ann Lichter is Southsider.
Yeah, she is maybe, but also center of town. But not to
I
argue
don't think
that.
that's a maybe, Joe. I think that's a fact.
Not to argue that it's getting in the way of the main point is to seek out comments from residents along Kensington Parkway and the Kensington Parkway Access Road about that, any proposal related to the bike lane improvement along the parkway. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, before we go town manager and staff, do you have any? I know I have the,
You want to mention that, or do you want?
yeah, well, I thought you could introduce it. but we
Okay,
could do it.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about the Kensington Volunteer Fire
Yeah.
Department. Yeah, you go ahead and do
Okay.
that one, and then we'll do the, we need the motion for the sale.
Correct, okay. Within the FY 26 budget, the town allocated $5,000 in funds to the Kensington Volunteer Fire Department, KVFD, in a scholarship program. KVFD announced the scholarship yesterday. They are looking to award 10 $500 scholarships. If you are interested, there is a link. We'll post this to the announcement page on our website. It's available on the KVFD Facebook page. We'll carry and post it in the next e-blast. But if you're interested in volunteering with the KVFD and getting a scholarship towards your service with them, please touch base.
Great, thank you. I met with Carrie Ann today. We talked about e-blast. There's nothing, we don't have an event coming up, so I don't know when you want to do that. But it would be, almost kind of a standalone in some ways.
Okay.
Although we could, bring up the upcoming events in September.
Okay, we can add it to the summary tomorrow. And then I know John Kelly's been advertising this on all their social media with KVFD, so.
Okay, well, they do a pretty good job.
And I'm sure they'll advertise it in the open house and the 100th anniversary in October, I believe, October 4th. So,
I feel like that, I know that event is coming up, but I feel like I don't know a lot about it.
so they're still organizing.
Okay,
There's a possibility that they still have it at the station. Our expectation is they're gonna have it here. We have a little more room. We've offered them Armory Avenue, Mitchell and Warner, the same layout for Labor Day. They're discussing what they want to do. We're waiting for feedback from them. So,
okay. So this is the 100th anniversary of Kensington Volunteer Fire
Correct, yeah.
Department, so, and quite honestly, they started
They
here.
started here.
They did.
Yeah,
They-
so, okay. We do have the history board for town hall. The crew's been really busy, but, hopefully they can find some time and get that installed, definitely before Labor Day.
Okay.
So please ask them to get that done. And, we're working on another one, for Mizell lumber.
Great.
Yeah. So hope to have that one in before the, Maryland Garden, Home and Garden Pilgrimage.
Yeah.
So maybe.
I have two quick updates before we go to ordinances. Weather permitting, and weather's been an issue, but our striping contractor is scheduled to mark Howard Avenue tomorrow. There is rain in the forecast. If there's any rain, it's out and we have to get rescheduled. It's been an issue. That's why you've noticed the state roads have not been marked. We're the same contractor. We're just hopeful that the rain can hold off long enough tomorrow to get Howard Avenue. If they're able to get in tomorrow, there's also some markings that will be done at the intersection of Pliers Mill Road and Wheatley Street that will help acknowledge the crosswalk there.
Good.
So we're hopeful that they can get that in tomorrow. The second note I want to make is the storm drain on Hadley Place that connects Carroll Place and Washington Street has been connected. Last night was a very good test for us.
Yeah,
It passed, thankfully. The inlets are in place, so the actual storm drain added 520 linear feet of a 24-inch pipe that that previously did not exist. The inlets are all in place. They do not have the throats, the top part yet. They will be doing that over the next few weeks. I spoke with Town Attorney Ferguson today, and our contractor Jack. They on Thursday are going to start replacing the existing 15-inch terracotta pipe and work their way up. There's a couple easements that we need to work on to get that project finished, but at least the initial area between Mary Buckingham and Mitchell Tart's property will be taken care of. I know they're looking forward to it as they've experienced some flooding over the years. So we're very happy that at least that is there and it passed the first test last night. So
great.
Good
Yeah.
timing.
That is
Yeah.
good timing. It's pretty well. Okay, anything else, Susan?
I have a
ahead.
question for Matt. Any update on the crosswalk for Howard Avenue and Armory?
Well,
Right by
that's
the
part of it.
construction.
That's part
That's
of
the
the
striping.
striping.
They'll do
Yes.
it with. the
Yeah.
striping.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah, all of that.
Yep.
Because we're missing the one in M&T and the train station.
And they'll mark all the parking spaces. if anyone crosses in front of M&T Bank, you'll notice that there's a sightline issue. Cars heading east cannot see you.
Yeah.
We will be placing ahead, pedestrian crossing ahead, so you'll have the notification.
Okay.
And that's the same thing we're going to do at the intersection of Pliers Mill and Wheatley. Just give motorists a little more of advance that there potentially could be a pedestrian there. So
Is that through signs or through road marking?
they put it on the road,
Yeah.
and it's thermoplastic. They'll
Okay.
put it
Great.
into the pavement. So
And there was, I know the answer to this, but I need to raise it anyway. There's no coordination with SHA on the striping of the state roads.
un-
What about the contractor? We can get to them through the contractor who's gonna do that?
I don't know. I can ask.
My guess is they're working off a
Yeah,
contract that,
I don't know how their contract works. Typically, state highway marks very quickly after paving projects. This is not typical, what they're doing on Knowles and Connecticut and everywhere else around the county. So I don't know what's going on with their contract. It's probably related to why we can't get responses from SHA right now. I don't know.
Okay.
So,
Are they gonna put the boxes back on where it's don't block the box
Yeah.
areas back there too?
yeah,
that's on Connecticut and
at
North.
Connecticut, Howard, and Connecticut and Knowles.
Not, Knowles and Dietrich.
Knowles and Dietrich, and then
Yeah.
Howard and Connecticut.
Yeah, Howard and Connecticut.
Howard and Connecticut.
Yeah.
Any updates on the St. Paul Street? Looks like they're marking some of the road up there at the north end of town.
Yeah, so
Some spray paint and stuff.
there will be some test pits going on in the next couple of weeks. One is at the intersection of Armory and Baltimore Street. We have to do some additional test pits to make sure we have enough room for the storm drain we'll put there. St. Paul, same issue, got to run some test pits. There's some clearance requirements between the existing utilities and what we're trying to install. You know, the engineers designed something, but they don't dig down. The initial test pits didn't look great. So they want to do a couple more and just make sure that we have enough room there.
Okay. Is there gonna be any disruption for the residents up there at all? They
Yes.
should be.
Quite a bit.
That was.
Talk to the people in Hadley. And
So
Yeah.
we received an email a week or two ago from one of the residents on St. Paul. We mentioned them. We don't anticipate anything happening before Labor Day. It's very unlikely. At some point after Labor Day, we'll get to St. Paul. It is going to be a major streetscape. It is going to be a challenge for the residents that drive through there.
Our largest project.
It is
ever.
the largest project in the history of the town, minus our future public works building.
Now, it sounds like that we're gonna get started on this when school starts.
It's going to be after. It's going to be after.
Well, I know, but I
Yeah.
mean, they'll have buses and everything else during this period of
Yeah.
time.
So they'll never close the entire length of the road, but what they'll have to do is.
They'll have it flagged.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are gonna be like no parking on that side too? There's a couple houses that's their parking spots.
Yeah,
there.
and then the road will actually be expanded a couple feet, so we get a 26-foot wide streetway
Nice.
there, which we don't have now, which will allow parking at Kensington Heights Park in the future. It's going to be a storm drain that connects all the water that's coming down off Kensington Heights Park plus University Boulevard. There are some yard inlets that are going to go on private properties with an existing easement to capture water. There's two 60-inch storm drains up there. We just need to connect the water into them.
Okay.
And then Montgomery County is actually going to handle the storm drain project on Nokomis. Once we're complete, they're going to come in and do the Green Street project.
Nice.
So they're actually waiting for this to be completed before they can do that. So,
That's fabulous.
Great.
So Labor Day is the day, sometime after Labor Day.
Ah,
that's very wishful thinking.
No, I just wanna make sure
Yeah.
that if I get hit up down
Yeah.
that way, I can tell them a little bit of a timeline.
Yeah, so once we get past St. Paul, then we'll be coming to Farragut, and former council member Bartram is well aware of the issues on Farragut. And so that is the fourth storm drain project that the ARPA funds will go in towards, so.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Good. Any questions for the town manager report? Okay, thank you very much. We will move on to ordinances and resolutions. We'll need a motion before we do the
Do we-
second. Can we do that
want
now?
Do we want to do the second ordinance first and then the public hearing?
Sure.
Okay.
Connor, do you have the,
Yeah, so
What you need to do.
before we introduce the second ordinance, which is ordinance number 5, there's a contract of sale in your council packets that was provided by the town attorney that we need to approve in order to then move on to the ordinance. So I'd like to make a motion when the mayor asks for it.
Okay, do I have a motion on the contract of sale of the M&T Bank property?
Yes, I make a motion that we approve the contract of sale for the M&T Bank drive-through property as it is, substantially written as is.
Is there a second? Do you have any questions? Sue Ellen is here.
I did have a question, actually.
Okay.
There's a pause on that. I wrote it down. I can't find, like, I have the document open.
Okay.
So just a quick question about the,
Is it to Sue Ellen?
yes, to Sue
Okay.
Ellen, about the, can you just explain briefly the sequence of the covenants in paragraph 4 and how they will affect our use of that property?
Yes, we had discussed this previously. M&T was requesting a long-term commitment that the property would only be used for public parking. And, the government really can't commit forever to any particular use because it's going to depend on the public need. So this is a compromise whereby the town agrees it will not use the property for anything other than public parking for 10 years. And then for the 15 years after that, if there's a necessity, a public necessity to use the property for something else, then the town would notify the current owner where the M&T Bank is right now, right across the street, give them notice that they would have to locate other parking in essence, and then would proceed to take the action that they needed to take.
Great, so it's 10 years and then another 15 years where we would have to notify if we're gonna use it for anything different.
And that difference is a greater public
Public
use.
use, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, all. I just wanted to be able to have that explained on the record, but then also, there's a couple of cleanups I think need to be done. There's, I think they referred to us as a village at one
Mhm.
point. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. But other than that, that's the only question I had.
Question on the parking, public parking, just for my own awareness. Do we put restrictions on like public parking? Can we say like 4 hours or 8 hours?
Do whatever we want.
We can,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. What committees are you in?
There is no limitation.
I am
You are-
already
you are-
leaning forward.
You have just,
Leaning forward in that.
yes.
It's not expressly stated in here, so I was
So
just.
the task force is taking that up, that
Great.
you just joined with that.
All right.
There is no limitation in this document or any other document that's gonna limit you in charging for parking or anything like that. It's just, we're just talking about the use.
Yep.
Got it.
Any other questions? Okay, there is a motion, waiting for a second.
A second.
Okay. All's in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Alright.
council. Okay, before you this evening is, we'll start with number 2, which is ordinance number O-05-2025. This is an introduction only. An ordinance of the mayor and council of the town of Kensington authorizing the acquisition of certain property located at 10415 Montgomery Avenue, Kensington, Maryland, for a public purpose. We're requesting that the council set the public hearing for Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. And for public reference, this is for the acquisition of the M&T Bank drive-through property. Within this time, we will file the required mandatory referral, and it gives us time for the environmental review of the property as well.
And the settlement would be November, is that correct?
The settlement is scheduled for November 1st of this year, and the acquisition price is $930,000, which is what our assessment value was.
And then just, we will be receiving the 800,000 from the state once the
acquisition has been made.
Any questions? Okay, can I get a motion?
Should I move that we introduce ordinance number O-05-2025 and set the public hearing date for September 10th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
So
council, and
back.
thank
to
you, Town Attorney
ordinance.
Ferguson, for all the work on that. Back to number one, ordinance number O-04-2025, a public hearing, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the town of Kensington amending chapter 7, public health, safety and conduct, article 2, noise, section 7-201, noise control, to exempt the town from application of section 31B-9 of the Montgomery County Code. We received more feedback than typical on this ordinance. It's just for clarity purposes. This ordinance would allow the Town of Kensington's Public Works crew to continue to use our gas blowers, specifically during leafing season, where we have noticed in this past leaf season that the electric gas blowers were not meeting our expectations. This would not be an exemption for residents or commercial properties or commercial vendors within the town. This would be for the town's Public Works crew. So,
That seemed to clear up a lot of things for people when they
Yeah.
were asked about that. They seemed perfectly fine with the
Yeah.
town crew.
Right, I think the distinction being that just the sheer volume of what the town crew is managing is
For
Right.
that
different.
period of
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
I think it's really interesting that, this is one example where I think we're leading on this, because even
'Cause
today, Councilmember up.
Abbott had a hearing on that.
To do something similar, introduce some similar legislation.
Yeah, for the
within
fall.
county for their public works.
Mhm.
So I think it was Darren who.
I think they had 40 people signed up to testify.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was mixed from what I gathered, but yeah, I mean, we're out in the lead, so.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, well, before we make a motion, we're here for a hearing, so anyone who would like to speak can raise their hand online, or they can come up to the podium and give their name and street.
evening. Darren Bartram. Very good afternoon.
Say David.
So I just wanted to, I know I talked about this when I was still on the council at the last meeting, but just wanted to say that I did some work on this to introduce it before I left. From my personal experience, I found that my battery leaf blower to be ineffective on wet leaves. I've had to change the batteries more often as the equipment ages, and I've often just switched to a rake. While I was on the council, I called some other municipalities to see how they were responding to the leaf blower ban. And I spoke with Village of Chevy Chase, where they said that they put it out for bid and they're basically going to manual leaf collection with rakes, and their cost for leaf collection is expected to double. And this was a couple of years ago when I called them initially. And so, given inflation and higher wages, it's probably more than double. So, and the other municipalities hadn't decided how they would respond. But as you just mentioned, even the county's rethinking this ban. I don't believe that the equipment is there for large scale leaf removal. So I would suggest that you support this ordinance just to provide the town flexibility. If we get to the point where batteries are where they weigh less, where they charge more quickly, where they cost less or perform better, you have the option to reconsider. But for right now, I would encourage you to support this ordinance. Thank you, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the Labor Day parade.
That golf court thing. Got him. Okay, anybody else? Joe?
Yes, thank you. I just have one question about the use of the word equipment in this ordinance. Why was that word chosen rather than leaf blower or some other more specific term? Because equipment seems to be fairly generic, fairly general, and it could mean a lot of different things. So I'm just curious as to why the ordinance on leaf blowers doesn't, in its substantive section, specifically address leaf blowers.
So Ellen, did you want to address that or?
Apologies. I was pulling it up to take a look at it. Yes, it's intended at this point just to be leaf blowers, but leaf blowers is kind of a generic term. It's it can be described in any number of ways. And so we just decided to use equipment instead. It's equipment operated by the town, but this is what it's intended to cover. There really isn't any other equipment that's being used at this point that's gas powered that is used to pick up leaks.
Sue Ellen, correct me or Matt, because I do think the county's ban was not just gas powered leaf blowers, but also trail behind like leaf vacuuming suction devices, which I don't know of a comparable battery powered one, but our leaf collection process cannot function without that device, that piece of equipment either. And so this, as written, would allow for both the leaf backpack leaf blowers or handheld leaf blowers, but also the vacuum equipment.
Yes, and it's this is taken to be the reverse of what the wording that the county has.
Mhm.
So it's relieving you of the obligation that the county imposed on equipment.
Any other questions, Joe?
Yeah, would adding a phrase after the word equipment in Article 2, Section A, a phrase that reads such as leaf blowers and leaf collection devices, that might help clarify what equipment is being discussed here.
Legally speaking, I don't think that's necessary. It
It
could
would help make things a little
adequately
clearer.
exempts, the idea here is to exempt the town from the application of that particular section.
Well, it would help avoid the very vague word that's there now, equipment, and it would specify what equipment we're talking about. Just a suggestion, but I think it's a useful one.
Attorney Ferguson, can we read, is it fair to say that Article 2, Section A should be read in line with the ordinance or relying on the ordinance that the town is proposing so that it illuminates what the town intended to be meant by the phrase equipment in your estimation?
Well, yes, the reference is made to the particular code section to start at the beginning, I guess. The county law can apply to a municipality unless the municipality exempts itself. And there are exemptions in your code right now that exempt the town, from application of a number of all of the county laws, except for those that are specifically included in your code. And so the noise ordinance was specifically included, and this just now exempts out that one piece so that it does not apply only to town equipment that's being used. The word equipment is used because it avoids having to specifically describe each and every piece and how it might be put together or used. That's the purpose.
Thank you.
Get your answer? You
I
good?
didn't, Mayor, thank you.
Joe, you good?
Well, I don't know what you mean, but I do think just a phrase that would specify what we're talking about here would be helpful and illuminating, and it would not tear up the ordinance at all. It would be a friendly amendment of about 7 or 8 words, but just a suggestion.
Okay, thank you, Joe. All right, council, do you have any questions? And if I can get a motion?
Sure, I move that we adopt ordinance.
Well, extending the public hearing.
Oh,
Oh.
you would.
Yeah.
I,
Public hearing.
Oh,
that
yeah,
we
it's
extend
public
it,
hearing.
yep,
This
that
was
we
read it before.
Yeah.
extend the public hearing until 4 p.m. on Friday, September 5th, 2025.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, last item on the agenda is public appearances. Opportunity to bring up anything that's not already on the agenda. Joe?
Yes, thank you. I was struck, I guess, by the absence or the list of council members and their committee assignments. The parking task force. I hadn't heard this, but it appeared to me that Connor Crimmins, Councilmember Crimmins, has stepped down as co-chair of that committee.
I would call it stepping down. It was a good opportunity for Councilmember Sparker, who has an interest in this as well, to take on a committee assignment. I'm still going to be a member and working, but not co-chairing in any capacity. So Councilmembers Lichter and Sparker will co-chair the committee.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, and thank you for the clarification.
That occurred at 6 p.m. tonight, Joe.
Yes, the organizational meeting just took place before this meeting, so.
I'm aware of that. Thank you. Also, kudos go to Councilmember Engel, the staff of Council President Stewart, and representatives of WSSC and the DEP for their fine work, their really outstanding constituent service work in addressing the sewage pollution problem in Silver Creek in the south side of town. And apparently this has been remedied, and it did take a joint effort by the parties that I mentioned. And kudos go to them, as the waters seem to be truly flowing on the south side of Kensington.
Praise be.
Thank you.
Thank you too, Joe.
Okay.
Oh, finally, one last question. Sorry, Mayor Furman. I'm just curious, and I've been meaning to ask the town manager where matters stand with the bridge project that we've heard so much about periodically over the last couple of years or so. I mean, where do matters stand with that? Is it sort of in limbo, or is it moving ahead slowly? What's the latest?
So they've finalized the proposal, and they have sent us a draft of of the improvements we're going to need to make, and we're proceeding. So it's where it should be at this point, and we're hopeful to get those improvements done soon. Again, as we told you before, there's no structural issues. Everything is involved with riprap and compliance and parapets and everything like that.
So, and they being Brutus, is that the contractor?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And when do you expect to have this project underway?
I don't have a time frame at this point, Joe. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Mayor Furman.
Thank you. Okay, so, just so you know that, didn't announce it earlier, but, Connor, Nate and I and, Matt and Alex, I believe you're on that call as well. We'll be, meeting with, HOC about the HOC tomorrow. And we'll send a follow-up to the council and report that at our September meeting on where we are with the HOC leaving the old Kensington Elementary School. And we will do a follow-up once we have more information. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Sure.
I'd like to propose a motion to adjourn the Kensington Town Council meeting for July 2025.
Is there a second? How about,
Second.
good, all those in favor? Not used to having a year.
I'll be precise.
Did we all say aye?
Aye.
Okay, all right, thank you.